Zara stood in front of the mirror, her hand resting on her lower belly. She had been feeling off for weeks. Nausea in the mornings, unusual fatigue, and cravings for suya and mango at 3 a.m. She opened her health app, tracking her cycle again. Something was definitely off. Her heart raced. Could it be? Just then, Kelechi knocked gently. Babe, you okay? Zara nodded slowly, eyes still locked on the mirror. I think I might be pregnant. Zara clutched Kelechi's hand tightly as the doctor looked up from the test results. Congratulations, the doctor smiled. You are about 4 weeks pregnant. Kelechi blinked. Wait, are you, are you sure? Zara turned to him, eyes wide with emotion. Kelechi, we're going to be parents. Kelechi sat back in disbelief, tears welling up. You don't know what this means to me. The doctor cleared her throat gently. Just make sure you rest and avoid stress. Your body is still adjusting. Zara squeezed Kelechi's hand. Nothing would ruin this moment. Or so she thought. Zara rested her head against the window, her fingers gently tracing her stomach. She was still in disbelief. A baby? Their baby? Kelechi glanced at her as he drove. I can't wait to tell Mama. She'll be so happy. Zara smiled, but deep down, she wondered, would his mother ever truly accept her? Suddenly, flashing red and blue lights filled the car. A loud siren pierced the air. Kelechi cursed under his breath. What now? He pulled over as two uniformed police officers approached their car. One tapped aggressively on the window. Step out of the car, the officer demanded. Kelechi frowned. What's the issue, officer? The second officer, a stocky man with a hard face, smiled. Routine check. Something about his tone made Zara uneasy. Kelechi stepped out of the car, hands raised slightly. Officer, this isn't necessary. The smirking officer scoffed. You rich boys think you own the streets. Zara unbuckled her seatbelt and stepped out cautiously. Please, we just left the hospital. There's no need for trouble. The officer turned to her, eyes narrowing. And who are you to tell me what to do? Kelechi stepped in front of Zara protectively. She's my wife. We just got good news and we don't need any stress. The officer chuckled darkly. Oh, so she's special, huh? Then everything happened too fast. Kelechi reached for his pocket to get his ID, and the officer shoved him back roughly. Zara gasped. Don't touch him. The officer swung his elbow back, hitting Zara hard in the stomach. Pain exploded through her body. She stumbled, clutching her stomach. Then, warm liquid trickled down her thighs. Blood. Zara's breath itched. Kelechi, she collapsed. Kelechi caught Zara before she hit the ground. Zara, no, no, no. Her face twisted in agony. The baby. Hi, Kelechi, help me. The officer took a step back, suddenly realizing what had happened. I didn't mean. Kelechi's eyes darkened with pure rage. You hit a pregnant woman? Zara whimpered in pain. Blood pooled on the pavement. The smirking officer wasn't smirking anymore. He grabbed his partner's arm. You need to get out of here. You're not going anywhere, Kelechi growled, reaching for his phone. Zara's body went limp. Kelechi panicked. Zara, stay with me, baby. Stay with me. The world blurred as sirens wailed in the distance. Help was coming, but would it be too late? The paramedics walked quickly, their hands moving with urgency. One checked Zara's vitals, while another pressed the girl's against the stomach, trying to slow the bleeding. Kelechi sat beside her, gripping her cold hand. Stay with me, baby, please. His voice cracked with desperation. A paramedic shot him a concerned glance. Sir, she's losing a lot of blood. We need to get to the hospital now. Kelechi nodded, but his gaze flickered toward his phone. The police officers who ought Zara were still out there. Should he call his lawyer? The media? Expose them? The ambulance swerved. The city lights blurred past as sirens wailed through the night. Every second felt like an eternity. Then, Zara's fingers twitched. Kelechi gasped. Zara, her lips barely moved. Don't, don't let them. Her voice was too weak to finish. Kelechi clenched his jaw. He wasn't going to let him get away with this. Kelechi paced the hospital floor, his fist clenched. He had called his lawyer. He had called the media. Now all he could do was wait. Then the hospital doors burst open. Where is my son? Mama Kelechi stormed in, a regal African attire swaying behind her. Her face, usually calm and poised, was twisted in raw fear. Kelechi turned, his face tight with exhaustion. Mama, what happened? She demanded, grabbing his hands. They said Zara was attacked. Who did this? Kelechi exhaled shakingly. The police. His mother's eyes widened in shock. The police? Before he could answer, another voice cut through the tension. She deserves it. Both turned. Standing near the entrance was Amaka, the suitable bride Kelechi's mother had tried to arrange for him. Her hands were folded, her lips coiled in Crest's smile. Mama Kelechi stiffened. Amaka, this is not the time. It is, Amaka interrupted. You tried to force him to be with me, but he chose her. And now, look where she is, bleeding, weak, unfit to carry his child. Kelechi's fist clenched. Get out. But Amaka wasn't done. She took a slow step forward, her voice dripping with venom. If she loses this baby, maybe then you'll finally see. Zara was never meant to be in this family. Mama Kelechi's expressions darkened, but she said nothing. Kelechi took a menacing step toward Amaka. If you ever say that again, I swear. Before he could finish, a nurse appeared in the hallway, her face grim. Mr. Kelechi, he turned sharply. Is she okay? The nurse hesitated. She's still critical, but we need to talk about the baby. Kelechi sat by Zara's hospital bed, his hands shaking as he reached for hers. Machines beeped softly in the background. Her face was pale, her breathing shallow. The doctor's words echoed in his mind. We have to operate. We might save the baby, but at the risk of losing her. Or we prioritize Zara, but the baby won't survive. Kelechi closed his eyes, his heart breaking. How could he make this decision? He felt a hand on his shoulder. He turned to see his mother, her face unreadable. Son, whatever you choose, you must live with it. His throat tightened. What would you do? Mama Kelechi sighed, her eyes misty. I can't answer that for you. He looked at Zara's face. She had fought so hard. Would she forgive him no matter what he chose? Tears slipped down his face as he finally whispered to the doctor. Do what you must. But which choice did he make?